So we are continuing our previous topic, the mole mass number information contained in a balanced equation. A balanced equation relates to the quantities of atoms, molecules per molar units, moles of substances, and masses. Okay. So here is an equation. We have propane here, combustion here, performing CO2 is produced, H2 is produced. What equation is telling us? One molecule of CH3H8, propane, 5 molecules of water, 3 molecules of CO2, and 4 molecules of H2O. Okay. When these react, it will produce these. Okay. And here is the amount written in masses here. Okay. This is in AMU. This is in grams. This is total mass of the reactants, and this is the total mass of products. Okay. The relation between amounts of reactant work. Quantitative relationships in a balanced equation are expressed as stoichiometrically equivalent molar ratios. Using equal molar ratios to determine how much of one substance forms or reacts with another. Okay, 3 moles is stoichiometrically equivalent to 4 mole of H2O. 5 mole of O2 is stoichiometrically equivalent to 3 mole of CO2, and so on. Here's a question here. In the combustion of propane, how many moles of O2 are consumed when 10 mole of water are produced? Okay. First of all, we have to see here the ratios of you can say of oxygen and hydrogen. We have to check how many moles of HO2 consumed. When we have 5 moles of oxygen, then it will produce 5 moles of oxygen. It will produce 4 moles of H2. Okay. We have given 10 moles of H. Okay. We'll compare ratios. Okay. 5 ratio 4. This is oxygen, and this is hydrogen. Okay. Then 1 mole will you can say 5 moles. 5 by 4 moles of oxygen will form 1 mole of H2. Okay, 1 mole of H2. So if 10 moles are produced, we multiply both sides by 10, 10 here and 10 here. This will comes out to be 50 divided by 4, and you can say here 50 divided by 4 into here 10 moles are produced. So we divide this 50 by 4, and we will get 12.5 moles. Yeah, this is our answer. If 12.5 moles of oxygen are consumed, then 10 moles of hydrogen will be produced. Okay. Okay. We can see here calculation here. Okay. Moles of O2 consumed. This is the formula H2O given, and 5 moles in the balanced equation, and 4 moles of water in the balanced equation. We can calculate like this. Okay. Question here, another question here. Copper is obtained from sulfides by roasting this and this. What is the question? How many moles of oxygen are required to roast 10 ml of copper sulfate? Yeah, like the previous question, solve this one as well. Okay, it is like same situation as okay. Okay. Here's same question here as well. Okay. Try to solve it by yourself. Here we have to find kgs. Okay. First we will find moles, ratios, and when we find mole, then we will calculate. We can say calculate the masses. Okay. Yeah, 2.86 kilogram is a 20 mole of Cu2O. Okay, and 20 mole of Cu2O will produce 30 moles of oxygen. Like we need 30 mole of oxygen to produce this. Okay, then we will convert these moles of oxygen into mass. Then it comes out to be 0.96. Okay, then it means 0.96 kg of oxygen is needed to form 2.86 kg of Cu2O. Okay, copper oxide. Okay. Okay. Chemical reaction that occur in sequences. Here roasting Charlotte site. Here equation here, second equation here. We will write balanced chemical equation. Okay, this is a balanced equation. Determine the mass of copper per metric ton. This is in higher values in tons. Okay. Okay. And step number 9. Why one reactant limits the yield? If the amount of two reactants are not equal, you can say in a balanced chemical equation, we can say CO2 here C plus O2 CO2. If we are given 12 grams carbon, 32 grams of oxygen, then they will say like how many grams of CO2 will produce. It will produce 44 grams. Like if we are given this, then we can't say which one is the, because the amounts are same as in the balance calculation, or you can say stoichiometric you can say amounts, okay, which are present in a balance chemical equation. Okay, if like amounts are not like in stoichiometric ratios, like here one will be in excess and other is limiting reactant. The limiting reactant is that reactant which is like a costly reactant, because we don't want to waste the costly reactant, and we don't want to take a loss, so we take the, like you can say, cheaper reactant in excess, and the, like you can say, costly reactant in small amount, so the reaction can be completed, and the costly reactant uh, like doesn't waste it. Okay. Okay, there was problem here. Hydrazine reacted with dinitrogen tetroxide, forming nitrogen gas and water stream here. Okay, we'll find like this is given. We will find moles by masses of these. Okay, we have find moles here. Okay, N2H4 and N2. Okay, like they think how many grams of nitrogen gas is required. If this and this, we will convert masses of like these into moles, then we find moles of N2. Okay, we find N2H4 moles here 3.12, and we calculate it nitrogen, it comes out to be 4.68, and then we will find moles of N2O4. We have found moles of N2O4 2.717, and then by using these moles we found moles of N2 6.51. The reactant which gives the less amount is the limiting reactant. Here we can see 4.68, and here is 6.51. So which is the limiting reactant? Hydrazine N2H4 is a limiting reactant because it gives less amount of products of N2. Okay, so we calculate moles according this, and we'll find out mass. This is moles. Okay, according to the limiting reactant 4.68, we convert into you can say into mass by multiply it by its molar mass. 4.68 into 28, we will get 131 grams of nitrogen. Okay, the limiting reactant is N2H4, and the excess reactant is dinitrogen tetroxide. Okay, N2O4 is the excess reactant. Okay, the causes of lower than expected yield and distinction between theoretical. Yeah, ideally 100% limiting reactant becomes product. This is a theoretical yield, like amount of product indicated by the equation, like stoichiometric equivalent molar ratio in a balanced chemical. But theoretical yield is rarely obtained due to several factors. The amount of product actually obtained, like theoretical is like experimental yield. You can say it is like theoretical. Okay, but the amount we get is called actual yield. Actual yield in in reactions is like mostly less than the theoretical yield. Okay, the formula of percentage yield here: actual yield divided by theoretical yield multiplied by 100. Okay, question here you can see SiO2 reacted with carbon forming SiC plus 2 moles of carbon monoxide. Okay, converting they are given what we have to find percentage yield of SiC. We will first of all we find moles of SiO2 by given mass 51 points, you can say 100 gram kg sand and 51.4 kg SiC, like silicon carbide. Okay, we find moles here of SiO2, it comes out to be 1664. Okay, like in exam like this is like you can say more higher values, but in exam you have given like less number of values. Okay, so don't worry about these like 1600 like some moles, so don't worry. Okay, so finding moles of SiO2, this comes out to be this. So you can see here in the reaction there is 1:1 molar ratio of between SiO2 and SiC. Okay, so when moles of 6064 comes out to be this, then 1664 moles of SiC will be produced. Okay, but how many moles are produced? Like we convert this 51.4 gram into kg into moles. Okay, we get this like actual yield. This is actual yield and this is theoretical yield. The amount must be this, but we get what? Because of less efficiency, like inexperienced person and mechanical losses. Okay, we get only this. We divide actual yield is this is theoretical yield. Okay, we converted moles into you can say mass. We get this 66.3, but in actual what we get? This we get 51.4 kg we get. Okay, this is the actual. and this is the theoretical according to the stoichiometric amounts. Okay, we write actual amount we have given in the question and theoretical amount here, and multiply 100, we get 77% of yield. Okay, multi-step reaction, the percentage yield of each reaction step multiplied over the whole sequences. If each step has 90% yield, what will be the overall actual yield? Actual yield multiplied by 35 grams, 0.9, 0.9, like this is like final product. If we have an example here, we multiply it by like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 6 steps. Okay, so like multiply this and we will get like 18.6 grams, and this is a theoretical yield here, we will get 53.1%. like this is for multi-step reaction, but in your exam the most questions were about about a single step reaction. The meaning of concentration and molarity. Okay, molar solution concentration and the calculations, you can say we can see this. Okay, the meanings of concentration, molarity, solution concentration, and calculation of molarity. Most reactions are like, you can say, again, I think we have to discuss in like uh, um, in other lecture, because this is the others, like you can say, this is related to solutions, so we'll discuss in the other in this other topic. So thanks for watching this. Good luck for the exams. Okay.